back to the Seekonk Speedway podcast series. A great mix of podcasts coming out over the course of the next couple months between our 75-year history, our division previews, our weekly recaps, and here we go with our final division preview as part of our NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series divisions. You could be listening to this before you listen to the other divisions. So the Sport Truck division is the main topic as part of this quick podcast. Talking with Kevin Boucher, the voice of Seekonk Speedway, and Lenny Ellis, the Saturday night race director. We're going to be hearing from both of them coming up in a little bit to hear what they have to say about the Sportsman division, the Pro Stock division, the late models, and right here in this podcast specifically, the Seekonk Sports Trucks. 2 years ago, that was the last time the Sportsman division's been on the track, September of 2019. The Sport Truck division. I've done so many of these podcasts here that I'm mixing some of the Saturday night divisions. The Sport Trucks, they look like pickup trucks from the street if you're new to racing. You'll like the action they put on the track, and they've got a great assortment of different drivers set to compete this season. All eyes going to be on Richie Murray behind the wheel of the Hedges Excavating number 08. He picked up the championship in 2019, multiple wins, and the overall championship in his rookie season in the Sport Trucks, and that is a tough feat to accomplish for a rookie behind the wheel of that number 08. The Tiverton, Rhode Island native, of course, a third or maybe even fourth. I think he's a third-generation driver. Rob Murray, his father, you'll know his name as well. Big Richie Murray from years ago, you'll know his name as well. But Rob Murray, a former Pro Stock competitor who raced in a bunch of different divisions at a bunch of different times, turning the wrenches on that number 08, the green-black machine, and looking forward to seeing if Richie can go back-to-back in the Sport Trucks. The list of drivers to compete with him is pretty well wide open. Barry Shaw Jr. was his main contender last year in the Everett's Auto Parts number 85, and Barry, unfortunately, involved in an accident over the last couple weeks, really took him out of contention for the championship. But if you didn't know, on the final night in 2019, Richie Murray's truck had a mechanical issue, and Richie hopped in Brittany Campbell's truck and went out and won the championship behind the wheel of the number 8. So congratulations to Richie for that championship, but now everything resets and we move to 2021 to see if he can do it once again. We're going to see as the 2021 season comes along what happens. Will it be Richie Murray or will it be somebody else that's going to be the one that competes for the championship against him over the course of the year? I'm looking forward to seeing a couple females in action. Samantha Matera making the move from the Sport 4 division on Fast Friday into the Sport Trucks. She will drive the number 04. How about Daryl Church, Daryl Dutch, Brittany Campbell, and Amy Arsenal? Two more females. Brittany, a multiple-time front runner in the trucks, picked up one career feature win behind the wheel of the number 8. She did that in 2019, and when she did, she became just the second female in the 2000s to pick up a NASCAR Saturday night win. So congratulations to her. Amy Arsenal, a former Pure Stock winner, is coming back hot and heavy, looking to win in the Sport Trucks this time. That's going to be exciting to watch what she can do behind the wheel of a brand new machine in the number 9. So looking forward to that. How about a guy like Rick Martin, who runs a partial schedule, OIS Dib? John Paiva, a name you haven't heard a while in the trucks, but he is planning to come back behind the wheel of the number 21 and compete on a weekly basis. Jake Veneta behind the wheel of the number 29. He's going to be one to watch as a former Pro Stock winner. I don't know if he won in the Pro Stocks. I don't think he did. I don't think he won in the Pro Stocks, but he won in the trucks. I know that for certain in 2019, picking up the win on the final night of Saturday night racing. He's going to be a contender for the championship as well. You got Mike Duarte, a former champion, is going to be running at least a partial schedule, along with Connor Souza returning in that number 38, Lenny Souza in the number 31, and then the three, I guess I want to say the old guys, but the guys that have been around a while and have plenty of experience. Lenny Guy in the number 77, Mike Cavallaro in the 80, and Barry Shaw, as I mentioned. All these guys and girls going to be contenders for the championship in 2021. Looking forward to watching the Sport Trucks hit the track on Sunday, May 2nd, and see what they've got in store for us over the 2021 season. And now we're going to introduce a couple special guests to talk about what they see coming in the Sport Trucks in 2021. Kevin Boucher, the voice of Seekonk Speedway, and Lenny Ellis, our Saturday night race director, are going to join us to rehash the 2021 season and see what they really see coming up over the course of the year, what they're excited about, who they think might be some of the contenders for the championship. We'll get to all that right around the turn. Let's take a break, and then we will hear from Kevin Boucher right around the break. break as we wrap up the Seekonk Speedway Division previews for the 2021 season. And looking now to the Sport Truck Division, presented by Chaz's Auto Body for the first time in 2021. Welcome to Chaz's Auto Body. Glad to have them on board as the proud sponsor of the Seekonk Sports Truck Division. Been around a long time, the Sport Trucks, but coming back after the pandemic and looking forward to a big year. Now, a couple years ago, 2019, we mentioned just before the break, it was Richie Murray dominating the division in competition with Barry Shaw. Murray came out on top as a rookie champion in the Sport Truck Division behind the wheel of that number 08. I'm going to welcome in Kevin Boucher, who's going to join us here for a few minutes to talk about the Sport Truck Division. Now, Kevin, what we saw Richie Murray do a couple of years ago, seems like forever ago, was really impressive as a young gun coming into this division. But going into 2021, with John Paiva coming back, Barry Shaw right on Richie's heels again, Brittany Campbell right in the mix in her number 8, Jake Veneta, Lenny Souza, a mix of others. The truck division, throw Lenny Guy and throw Mike Cavallero in that mix as well. The truck division is one of the deeper as part of our Saturday night divisions going into the season.
The talent level that we see in the sport trucks is among the best in New England. You got some rookies coming up. You got some veterans sitting there. And there's a lot of talent that a lot of people don't see. You see Sam Matera coming up from the Sport 4 division. Bobby Bush making a return after a couple of races last year. Then you've got your Rick Martin running part-time, John Paiva coming back full-time, the former champion. Lenny Souza had a decent outing last year. And don't forget, you got Mike Duart on the schedule and six-time champion Mike Cavallero along those lines. This is still up in the air when we get down to opening the green flag on May 2nd.
Yeah, the truck division is going to be one of those that I think is going to go right down to the wire. For me, you look at Richie Murray, you look at John Paiva, you look at Cavallero, Lenny Guy, Barry Shaw. Those are probably your guys. But Kevin, what's your thoughts on Jake Veneta? I mean, coming back to a little bit of a lower division. He'd run in the pro stocks for a while. In the sport trucks, they won last year in the finale of the season. For me, he's a guy that we're going to have to keep watch on because if he can be consistent, I see him being a top 5 truck every single week, if not somebody we're talking about to win the race every week.
You think back when Mike Cavallero made the move to the sport trucks. He was a pro stock competitor before that, but he struggled. And the reason he struggled there is because he didn't have the funds to put in that the other guys did. He had his good runs, but he was middle of the pack at best. And that's not enough. When he went down to the truck division, he found a division he could afford to race in weekly and be competitive. And what did he do? He reeled off 6 championships. Jake reminds me a lot of that. He ran in the pro stocks for a few years. He struggled because he didn't have the funds that everybody else did. He was not outworked. He was outspent. The truck division is a division that he can afford to race at and race competitively. And we saw that in a brief glimpse in 19 when he came out. He reminds me a lot of that Mike Cavallero scenario.
And it's going to be interesting to watch him and the rest of this division as we get into the 2021 season. I'm watching Richie Murray as the guy that I think is going to be the contender to knock off nobody, because he was the guy that won the championship. Is there somebody, though, Kevin, that you're banking on knocking off Richie Murray? Is it John Paiva? We haven't talked about him a lot here in the last minute. But knowing his success and everything he's got going on, is he kind of the guy for you that you think's there? Or is it Barry Shaw? Or is there somebody else that you think is the one?
Former champion, so he definitely knows how to do it. He is definitely in the contention there. There's no doubt about it. And if he can put the kind of season he did back in, I think it was 16 when he won the title, there's no doubt he can do it. When I look at the schedule, when I look at the drivers, Ricky's going to have a tough time repeating. Yes, that truck was a 2-time champion. That's a truck that Josh Hedges drove the prior year to the title. But I really think Barry Shaw is going to find that 2021 is going to be his year. And if not him, I think it's going to be Jake Veneta. I think one of those two drivers at the end of the year are going to be there.
Well, that's fair, and good to hear that we think Richie's got some competition. I think it's going to be tough for him to repeat, but looking forward to seeing what he can do and what the rest of these guys can do going into the 2021 season. I want to thank Kevin for joining us as part of the Sport Truck Podcast and all of our division preview podcasts here at the Action Track of the East. We have not mentioned other names in that division like Samantha Matera, Daryl Church, Eddie Perry. The list goes on and on. Rick Martin making an appearance here and there, and some others. When we come back, we're going to talk to the race director as part of our Saturday night program. Lenny Ellis joins us as part of the Seekonk Sports Truck, Chaz's Auto Body Sport Truck Division Preview. Stick with us. Welcome back to the Seekonk Speedway podcast series, previewing the 2021 season as part of our Division 4 NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series challengers, the Seekonk Sports Truck Division. Welcome back for the 2021 season, and one of the best and deepest fields we've seen in the Sport Truck Division in a really long time, and a great mix as well of gentlemen and females in the field that are going to be competitive for the 2021 season. We just heard from Kevin Boucher talking about what he thinks is going to go on in 2021. Hard to bet against Richie Murray, but we'll see what happens over the course of the year. Want to welcome in our second guest as part of the Sport Truck preview, and that is going to be Lenny Ellis, the race director, as part of our Saturday night slate, who's got experience in a variety of different divisions at Seekonk, knows a lot of these guys well in the sport trucks. And Lenny, Richie Murray kind of put everybody on watch 2 years ago in his debut year, his rookie campaign. He wins the championship in the sports truck division. Take me back to what you saw from him in 2019. I mean, that's impressive to see a rookie come in and really. I don't want to say step on everybody because Barry Shaw was right there with him much of the way, but it was very impressive to me what he was able to do behind the wheel.
He's a talent beyond his years, to be perfectly honest with you. He could easily be jump frog this couple of divisions, go into late model. I was actually even campaigning for him to go for a rookie of the year in the pro stocks, but they probably, money wise, you start to get up there pretty good, and it gets a little crazy after a while. But he's a smart racer. If you watch him, he doesn't put his truck in a bad position. So he's a lot like Dave Darlin as far as that goes. Very and just actually all the guys that are champions are do that. They drive within themselves all the time. They don't sit there and sometimes you can win the battle, but to win the war, you got to use your head. So, and I'm really excited about the four ladies that are going to be driving. Hopefully they'll all get their vehicles together. But it's not just that. I mean, I'm going to pick. I'll tell you who I'm going to pick right now. You haven't even said anything, but to contend with Richie Murray is going to be Jake Venata.
Yeah, well,
good little racer, experienced. If he gets his brand new truck done in time, and what's really cool about this division now is a lot of new trucks are being built and being put on in there. But what that allows is the trucks that we're racing, somebody else is buying them. So we're going from 14 car field to the possibility there's 26 trucks that are signed up right now.
Yeah, this is going to be, in my opinion, one of the best years for the truck division since their inception.
John Piva, another one. He's raced before. He moved back from late models back down to the trucks. I mean, Ricky's going to run. I don't know. I think it's selected events. I mean, I think his pro stock will still be the main deal. Daryl Church is a brand new car. There's a lot of people that have come over here, but I'm like I said, I'm looking for rookie of the years in this division and see how the ladies do it. I mean, obviously, Brittany Campbell and Anastasia LeBron are the two most experienced, but Amy's running, in the pure stocks, and Samantha's running the sport fours. So, it's going to be nice to see these guys come up and see what they can do,
Yeah, this is going to be, like I say, one of the top divisions as far as competitiveness goes over 2021. Just scrolling down the roster, you got Ed Perry, Richie Murray. You got Sam Matera, Daryl Church, Daryl Dutch, Brittany Campbell, Amy Arsenal. We haven't mentioned a former Pure Stock winner jumping into the trucks this year. Rick Martin always brings his out for a couple times. John Piva, Venata, Anastasia LeBrun, you mentioned. Lenny Souza. Brad Souza might drive that car a little bit. Connor Souza, he might return for some races. I believe he is confirmed to be back for at least a partial schedule. Mike Duarte, a former truck champion. How about Lenny Guy and Mike Cavallero and Barry Shaw, some veterans? I mean, Lenny, this division is really, as far as I'm concerned, out of all the champions from 2019, this might be the one division that's the toughest for somebody to repeat. Richie's got his hands full here if he wants to win a second title, which is a difficult feat in itself.
Yes, and I was talking to Dan McGee, who has the 55 truck. He was buying tires, and he hasn't raced in about, I guess he raced quite often, and he hasn't raced in about like 5 or 10 years or 15 years or something. And he bought a truck, and now he's coming back, and he's got experience, and it's cool. It's just that the buzz in racing right now, the saddest thing of it is we're operating on 12%. But the buzz for racing this year and the tracks that I've gone to, and I've gone to several before. I mean, I've gone to Florida, I've gone, Snowball Derby, I've been, what do you call it there, Hickory, and these tracks, they're filling the places up. It's unbelievable. They're on 50%, but I'll tell you, it's a big 50.
Yeah, no, looking forward to getting some fans back in the grandstands in general here. 12%, obviously not great to get going, but it's enough to get us going, and that's really important as we look forward to the 2021 season with a stout truck division. When you're asking me about the championship for this division, I'm going to pick two drivers and let them fight it out. I think it's Richie Murray versus Jake Venata. I think Venata's kind of rejuvenated and ready. John Paiva's going to be strong. Barry Shaw is going to be strong. But for me personally, those are the two that we're going to watch in this truck division. And Lenny, thank you for joining us as well as we look forward to seeing you at the track and all of our officials and our staff and our fans. That's the most important thing for me. The fans back in the grandstands to kick off the 2021 season at Seekonk Speedway. It should be a real blast over the course of the year. For Lenny Ellis, our Saturday Night Race Director, Kevin Boucher, the voice of Seekonk Speedway, I'm Kyle Souza saying thanks for joining us as part of our 2021 Sport Truck Division Preview. Thanks to all of our sponsors, including Chaz's Auto Body, the division sponsor for 2021 in the Sport Trucks. For now, so long, ladies and gentlemen. Stick to our social media, our website, seekonkspeedway.com, for more ticket information, electronic tickets to kick off the year. You're going to want to get them quick. If you're listening to this podcast and there are still tickets available for opening day, I would get on them. If they haven't bought them, they might already be sold out. So take a look at a limited capacity. It's going to be really important to get those tickets early. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for listening to the Seekonk Speedway podcast series. So long for now. We will see you at the track.